Okay, I just already recording. So, slight change in scenery. Whoa, that's gonna throw me off. It's too hot in the car. I try to record in the natural setting, in the stage that I've built, and my phone overheated. And I was like, yeah, I could wait till 7 p.m. I was like, but my bedtime's 8. And I got other plans by then. Like, this fits into the schedule. And, like, we improvised. So the improvisation is different scenery. And if you don't do well with change, girl, most of us don't. I'm sorry to do this to you. But what are we going to do? It's too hot. It is July 11th. And let me explain, because obviously it's not July 10th. Well, Liz, you're a day behind. Answer for yourself. I mapped it around 2 reasons. One being that I didn't quite finish the book. I'll go into that in a minute. I literally have like 20 pages left. I'll explain in a minute. And 2 being, I had a thing coming in, and I wanted it to be part of the video because I was like, oh my god, exciting, like it aligns perfectly and it's gonna be perfect, and it didn't work out. And I could wait till tomorrow. That's just another day of me putting it off. And where I'm at right now, I just really like to have my things done and move on with it. Your girl's really getting on her schedule, Edgewell. I don't know why I said it like that. I don't know. Hi, how are you? How are you doing? I'm doing okay. It's been a minute since we talked. I think the last time we sat and talked, outside of the mini video that is gonna be put out of the trip itself, which I don't know to what sequence, so I'm just gonna assume you got no video. This trip, I left with a mindset of such positivity and go get 'em. And if the video was so wham bam thank you ma'am, I gotta go, I'm on one. There are things to do that knowing that now and being where I'm at right now, that makes me so happy, genuinely, because I really was stressing and I was not doing okay, and I was trying so hard to express to you guys how not okay I was doing, but I struggle with being as open as I want to be. And you know what? This Funny Nunny Dundee book, I'm so sorry guys, I'm so exhausted. This book, Permission to Feel, is exactly what I needed, and will forever need, given exactly what we're talking about. At times when speaking about my feelings, I feel like I am at a loss for words. I feel like I know how I feel, but how do I express to you how I feel? Does that mean I don't know how I feel? Is it for a lack of vocabulary? Is it for a lack of understanding? And reading this book, oh my god, it helps me understand that it's definitely for a lack of vocabulary. Because you give me the words, I can tell you how I feel. And I wonder how many of us are like that, How many of us struggle to just open up to one another because It's not that we don't lack the understanding of what it is that we're experiencing, but the fact that we don't know the words. Girl, they didn't teach us the words. And this book teaches you the words. Not only does it teach you the words, it goes into depth of the importance of knowing the words, and it goes into depth of how you can use those in turn within your life, every aspect of it, and how it benefits you, and the importance of being an emotional scientist. Girl, triggering. But that's triggering because psychotic Lizzie thought she was a scientist. That makes me feel annoyed. That makes me feel nervous a little bit, if I'm being honest, talking about acknowledging what I recall during the breakdown. That makes me feel anxious. That makes me feel a little tense, if I'm being honest. That makes me feel sad. It makes me feel sad acknowledging the breakdown and what happened and how I feel about it now, and the steps that I know I need to continue towards to eventually reach a place where I'm even better and healthier. But the steps that are going to be required for that scare the living heck out of me. I feel exhausted and I feel spent. The main reason, I will be 100% honest, why I'm 20 pages behind, is because when I came back from this vacation, I had a day and a half to reamp and prepare for work, and then I got 10 days in a row. We had a little thing happen at work. It is what it is. That required me to, pick up some slack, and that's what you do, and I'm not overworked a little bit, but I'm definitely keeping an eye on it. I like to sit myself down when I am starting to feel in any possible way, shape, or form shaky or overwhelmed, or any emotion outside of what my new standard feels or has become over the past 2.5 to 3 years. If I'm wavering above or below what I now know is my standard, thank you medication, thank you therapy, thank you self, I do an inventory check. Take a step back, what's going on, what's happening. And I did have an emotional day recently where I was overwhelmed and I cried, and it was crying over something that I at the time felt was a little bit not worth the tears, just for me to take a step back and realize that my feelings were valid. The situation itself might have not been worth the tears, but the situation in total that has me overwhelmed, that has me crying, is valid. So I did take a day off work. I said I was sick. I was sick emotionally and mentally. And I finished all my work. I didn't slack. It's not like I went in there and was like, I gotta go home, I'm sick. I went in, I did my stuff, and then I was like, I'm done, I'm spent, I gotta go. And I left. And I took the day, and then I had a day off, and I felt like I could recharge. I was able to take the inventory that I needed of whether I was pushing myself too far. I don't feel like I am. Yes, I worked a lot, and I at the same time kept up with my walking and taking care of Camden, his walks, and a lot was accomplished. I don't feel defeated. I guess I don't feel spent. I feel a little tired, but I don't feel spent. Because if I felt spent, I wouldn't be trying to film this video so that I could go take my walk, I still have some gas in the tank, more than plenty. So if you're worried, don't be. But let me tell you about the progress that was made, because unfortunately I didn't finish the book. Please don't cancel me for this, but I'm gonna finish it when I get back from my walk, so it won't be a total loss. I got props and stuffs. Guess what? Who, when, where, and why. She finished out a pair of shoes. Not only did she finish out a pair of shoes, 500 miles on these suckers. They currently have 540 something. 500 whatever. Right here. Ding. My new pair of shoes was supposed to come today. They did come today, but I don't have access to them till tomorrow. So I was gonna be like, these are the new shoes, the old shoes. These are the new shoes. And I was so excited to show them off because I really, 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 really like the shoes that I got, and it like opens up a conversation that I like am very excited to have, because these are my Nike Pegasus 40. The ones that I ordered are my Nike Pegasus 41. The shoes that I closed out before these, I believe, are my Nike Pegasus 39. I've been running on Pegasus for about, I think since I was 25. Something like that. For the past couple years, I've been running on these specific pair of shoes. And they literally just came out with a new release of them as I needed to buy my new pair of shoes. Right as I finished this pair of shoes. Right in the middle of the year. A month before my 6 months. Mind you, that means I've already done 400 miles, so I still have time to reach my 500 miles before the 6th month ends. She's also at a 74% workout rate. I got a little not great with it, but I still have so much room to catch up. And I'm so excited about all of this, and I'm so like overjoyed by being able to sit here and be like, I finished off a pair of shoes. That's one half a thing on the list. I'm at 500 miles for half the year, the regular year, not Lizette's year. So that means I'm projected to like meet my goals based on the goals of like, based on the numbers, girl. It's based on the numbers. Triggered. I can come today and just be like, let me give you all the great progress that I've been making slowly that I refuse to acknowledge up until right now. That's what I want to talk about, because in reading this book about feelings and expressing them and honesty and all the woo-woo that comes with it, I took the inventory of my channel and what I intend for it to be, and what it is and what it isn't. And I think that because I am coming on here and being so open about my story, that I am like convincing myself that that means that I'm being real and that I'm being open about what happened to me and how I feel about it, and that's me healing in some sort of way, because that's also what this is supposed to be. This isn't just a hee hee haha Lizette makes YouTube videos again. Like this is with purpose. Like this has been talked through, like thoroughly talked through out with my therapist. Like this whole thing has a purpose, and I'm supposed to be tracking my progress through it, and the progress from last month to this month is exponential, through the roof. And these additional 30 days that have gone by, plus the 20 days before the last video, I have been on it. I have been grinding. I have been getting up every single day with intent. I'm going to be 100% honest. I think there were 3 days out of the past 50 days that I was like, I don't really have it in me to work out today. I'm going to sleep in. or I'm gonna get a little trigger happy and spend a little too much money. I did. For 3 days out of the past 50 days, I marked those days as losses. But the rest of them, the 47 days, I've been killing it. I meant it when I said that I was over it and that I was ready to turn the new leaf. And I meant it when I said that I know how to do this and that I want to show you how I do this, and I want to take you along the ride, and everything that I've said, it's genuine. But it's all been so surface level that it doesn't have much substance. And this whole thing is me. And that might sound a little vain, and that might sound stuck up or whatever. Let's get to a point where I can make this about other things, and I would love to do that. But right now, this whole thing, this whole documentation is about me and my experience and how I'm going through it. And I haven't been vocal about what I'm doing, how I'm feeling, and where I'm at. And I just took such a huge leap forward that, like, I want to take the moment to, before it's lost, acknowledge where I was at, where I'm at, and where I'm going. Where I was at. This breakdown, there's so much about it that I'm still unable to, like, even address within just myself, because I learned 2 things. Well, I learned a lot of things in that book, but one of the first things that stood out to me was the difference between shame and guilt. Whether that be, like, for example, shame, which has to do with others' perception of you and the public norm, and how you attribute to that to feel either shame, or the opposing, guilt, which is how you personally feel about what you've done. And that made me think about my own perception of this breakdown, because as far as shame goes, I don't think there's been a single person who has shamed me. I think that's the reason why I'm comfortable enough to do this today, and why I'm going to be comfortable enough posting it. I have no shame. There is no shame. Nobody has looked at me and shamed me. Mental health, win for this round. I mean, I'm sure there are people who are eventually going to shame me. I'm sure eventually I'm going to find the people who are going to say I faked it, or the people that are going to say it was a temper tantrum, or the people that are going to say I was on drugs. A lot of people had speculations. You're allowed to do that when things go down. People make their own interpretations of what they see, and sometimes they haven't been exposed to what it was. So, psychosis. So as far as shame goes, I need to stop saying that I feel ashamed of it, because there is no public humiliation other than my own perception of it. And that's internalized shame, you know? It's all me, babe. It's all coming from within the house. And, you know, you stand up in front of me and you look me in the eye and you tell me that you could have done all that I did and not feel shame. I might clock you because you're lying, but that's between you and Jesus, babe. If you can genuinely not feel shame for that, I applaud you, because you must not care about what anybody thinks about you. Me, on the other hand, I, to an extent, care. And yeah. And as far as the guilt goes, there is a lot of guilt, because I can't believe half of the things that I said and did. Like, I may not remember it all, but I have those videos and I can sit there and watch, and I can see the intent that I had during them, and I can see all the ugly that was just spewing out of me during this period of time, that I was so out of touch with reality, that I was just so hateful and mean and angry. But I was going through it because, alright, let's talk about it. Where I was. During this breakdown, I don't remember who I thought was watching me. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I don't think I cared who I thought was watching me. I think I was just happy that I was being watched. I felt watched. I felt like I was performing for somebody. I was having fun with it though, but I felt like I was being tested. That I had to in some way prove. And listen, psychosis, literally checkbook. She was like 666. This girl has psychosis. Everybody knew but me. That's how it tends to go, regardless. Anyways, I remember that during this time I felt tested. And listen, I don't want to get into it, so let's not. As far as religion goes, because I didn't even feel tested by a god. I felt tested by somebody on my webcam. Anyways, I reached a point around July 4th, to be specific, where I remember getting in my head that I needed to get rid of everything that I loved and that I held too close to my heart, because I needed to detach myself from those things to be able to do whatever it is that I had convinced myself I needed to do that day. The things that went were my shoes, my plants, and my hair. Not all my plants. Not all my hair. But the shoes definitely went. And I cried when I threw away my shoes, and I cried when I cut my hair, and I cried when I got rid of my plants, because for whatever reason that I had convinced myself that I needed to do this, I did this, and it broke my heart. But in coming out of this breakdown, I've tried to heal a lot of the things that happened to me symbolically. For example, I got the same pair of running shoes. I said, "I'm sorry, baby, here you go," to myself, and I got the same pair of running shoes, and I walked 500 miles on them. They hang out in my car. They swish around. I don't know if it's dangerous. I might want to move them. But, yeah, I got the same pair of shoes, and then I got the next edition, and I just got the next edition. That's my way of healing the fact that I did that with my shoes, and it was traumatic, and I had not great memories with it. But now, I got great memories with my shoes. Because guess who closed out a pair of shoes? This girl. And the hair, I cut it again so that I could regrow it again healthily. And I literally oil this stuff once a week. I'm buying the most expensive shampoo I can buy. I'm putting a little heat to it because I really liked it blown out. But no, she is healthy. She's a healthy girl. Okay, girl? Don't even start. And final, last but not least, the story of the fiddle. This is my fiddle. She a little bald-headed. I overwatered her, and then her leaves fell out. But she's in the middle of a growth spurt right now. And these ones new, and these ones new, and this one is about to be new. I think she's going to give me 4 this round. I'm hopeful for 3, Well, I have 3, but I'm a little cocky and I'm like, she'll give me 4. So, the story of the fiddle. And this is something that I've only really talked about it with my dad, but in the theme of what we've got going on right now, I kind of wanted to like open up about it. When I got into plants back before my breakdown, I got into plants like everybody else did during COVID. I had my apartment filled with plants all over the place, and I was getting so into them and reading about them and trying to find new ways to grow them and do all these little science experiments that I would do with all my little plants. I found the fiddle-legged feet. I did not say that right. Fiddle fig. Oh my god. But I found this fiddle, right? And this tiny little thing that only grows here and there, that doesn't like to be moved or touched, turned into a whole tree, dog. And I fell in love with this quirky looking little tree. And I bought myself one. And I remember the day that I bought one because I was like proactively thinking, you're investing in a plant that you're going to keep for hopefully the rest of your life. You're buying a tree, babe. What are you doing? And the thought process that I had then was, guess I'm just going to have to get a house so I can put my tree in there. And this stupid little fiddle became a little dream. And this stupid little dream felt crushed after this breakdown. But here's the thing. During my breakdown, when I went through this desperate need to get rid of all my things, I got rid of all my plants and my shoes, my hair. Guess what I didn't get rid of? My fiddle. And when we got evicted, I kept that little fiddle. And when we lived in the panel, it died. And I spent a couple years looking for a new one. And I finally found that one. And then I overwatered it, and she went bald-headed. Oy. Well, yeah, where I'm going though. I thought I forgot. I'm gonna start volunteering soon. I've already looked into it. I've put the foot down. I'm saving money. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I do need to adjust a couple of the things on the list because I was reading about depression and how you get over it because, just because I know how to doesn't mean it's going to work every single time. And it said realistic goals and I was like, oh, my goals are realistic. And then I was like, oh, no, my goals aren't realistic. And whatever. Girl, I'm running out of time. Let's just get to it. I'm going to change my staycations with my gal pals to 1 because I got really zealous and was like, I'm going to do 6. That's a lot of money and nobody has the time to hang out with me that many times. So I'm going to throw a Halloween party. It's going to be huge. It's going to be the bash of the year. Calling it now. What else? There was another one that on there that I was going to change. Ooh, I'm going to have to get back to you on that one because I do not recall. I don't know. I don't remember. Oh, I remember. I'm going to run a 5K at the best of my ability. I think if I had been able to not be as down as I was in the beginning of the year and have focused on the miles the way that I would have wanted to, that would have been possible. It might still be possible now, but with the workload I've got going on and just the mentality I want to keep, I don't want to start overworking out and over pushing myself to the point where I ruin it and make it not fun. So as much as I want to be like, I'm going to stay motivated and I'm going to chase that dream, I can't. Not this time around. I'll do it next year. Sorry. But we're going to run a 5K still, at least. That makes me nervous. Running with people. Spooky. Yeah, I want to be a little more open here. And I want to be a little more engaged with the content that I'm actually putting out. I don't want to just be surface level. I mean, this is as deep as I want to go, and I don't know. I guess we'll gauge it as I eventually meet whoever you are. For now, this is it. It was a good one. I'm in a really good place. I foresee going towards even better places. The book I'm reading next month is called Art of Letting Go. I've heard really good things about it, so I was gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna finish my book. I'm gonna go finish it now. It was really good catching up with you. I guess we'll talk soon. Bye, girl.